If you aren't subscribed, don't forget to move your finger over to the red button down below this video and press down on it so that it becomes subscribed. Anyways, cue the goddamn intro. Since 1991, Sonic has always mostly been about getting from point A to point B, using speed and platforming to do that. And to be honest, that has worked for Sonic all these years, but it's something that a lot of Sonic fans are asking for, which I do not agree with. A lot of people are saying that Sonic should be open world instead of just the normally designed stages that we have now, which just has so many things wrong with that. Why do I think this? Well, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's discuss the topic at hand. I think we should first define the term open world, so that we know what we're dealing with here. An open world video game is essentially a game with an open world. It has a bunch of tasks for you to do within it, whether that's collecting things or completing different missions. There's no real set path for you to take in these types of games. You just sort of go your own way, without a sense of direction, just wandering mindlessly until you find something. And that is basically the drift of an open world game. Now, taking all that into consideration, how would this work for Sonic? Spoiler alert, it wouldn't. Is it even the fact that it wouldn't work? Is it the fact that Sonic doesn't even need open worlds at all? Having regular stages for you to traverse has always worked for Sonic, so why change that? Sonic just has speed-based platforming in his blood. It's what he was made to do. You can't just take that away from him, or it just isn't Sonic anymore. It's why Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric failed so badly, because it didn't feel like, nor play like a Sonic game should, which is bound to happen again with an open world Sonic game. There's so many things that you need to factor in when making an open world game, even more for Sonic. Let's start with the basics, shall we? Firstly, you need to have a world big enough for your character to run around in, and for dealing with Sonic here, that world will need to be huge for the speeds that Sonic moves at. The only way to get around this, we also do what Rise of Lyric did, slowing Sonic way the heck down, but, like we said already, that would mean changing what Sonic is, and the game not being a Sonic one anymore. An open world will need to be big enough for Sonic to run around in, and that's going to take a lot of money, which I doubt Sega can put in, or just not willing to put in because of fear of another disaster. There will also need to be a lot of bug testing done, so that we don't have a game as glitchy as 06 and Rise of the Lyric again. With the huge expansive world, however, you also need things for Sonic to do. Like I've said multiple times, Sonic is a speed-based platformer, and it should always be that. Sega will need to create a world so that it's big enough for Sonic, and so that it's enough for him to do. And those massive open areas with nothing in there. Just look at this example of what an open world Sonic game should not be. That right there is precisely what I'm talking about. That was actually just a big open space filled with nothingness, which is what I'm afraid of. You can't just have a game be like that, because it isn't fun, it's just boring. You're just running around with nothing to do, or no obstacles to stop you, like Sonic Force's boost to win stages. I'd say that Sonic Force's modern stages are more engaging than what we just saw there. At least there's some substance in those stages. There will need to be lots of slopes, platforms, enemies, and plenty of spaces to explore in a Sonic open world game, or you just wouldn't be successful. There are better examples of Sonic in an open world, this being Sonic Utopia, but even then, I still feel like it's extremely shallow, with nothing really of essence for you to actually do. If you're going to do open world, you need objectives for your character to do, or it defeats the whole purpose of being in an open world. If you wanted to just have open-ended stages of Sonic with lots to explore, then we don't need open world, we just see the adventure formula back. The adventure formula, particularly in SA1, does a great job of allowing Sonic to explore, while still keeping true to what Sonic is. Forget open world, just get a good level design and the adventure formula back, and we're set. The adventure formula is literally perfect for Sonic. You can get good length levels made because of Sonic's speed. He's at boosting all over the place like in the boost games, which is why boost games have gotten shorter over time due to budget. Sonic needs levels and stages long enough for Sonic to be able to boost through, so is it just as short as Forces. Unleashed this perfectly. The adventure formula is also slow enough, so they can have lots of places to explore, without just having to come to a complete halt, just look for a collectible. That was people's main problem with the medal collecting on Unleashed. In the day stages, because you're going so fast, you wouldn't think to stop and look for medals, and then when you do stop and look for them, it feels tedious. While I think this is stupid, as I love medal collecting, I can see where people are coming from by saying that. With the adventure formula, it's so much easier to explore, because they're going that fast compared to the boost, so it doesn't feel tedious at all. You have controls made to explore. One thing that really gives Sonic that satisfaction of playing is speedrunning the games. Because of how fast Sonic moves, people have been able to do crazy things when it comes to completing Sonic games as quickly as possible. This is what makes Sonic's style of level design so much fun to play, even in games like Forces. If a Sonic game was to be open world, speedrunning would be way different than what we are used to, and may not be possible at all. Part of the fun of speedrunning Sonic games is to find lots of tricks to get to the goal as quickly as possible, whether it's by manipulation of the level design, or just using glitches like M speed and D speed. You can't do that in an open world environment, because it isn't designed like an ordinary level. This is a big open space to run around in. You can't just pull off crazy things like in regular Sonic games. Or can you? There's one really good fan game I want to mention here, which is actually in favour of an open world, which is Sonic GT. Sonic GT is an extremely well made fan game that is sort of open world, but not completely. The levels are pretty big, so there's plenty of places to explore, and it's really satisfying to find the quickest paths or just using momentum to reach the goal as quickly as possible. If Sonic was to be open world, Sonic GT would be the way to go in my opinion. Create a new formula for Sonic which is based solely on momentum, so that we can traverse stages at the player's own speed. Whether that's just taking things slowly, or just finding secrets hidden throughout the stage, or just blasting away, trying to get to the goal as fast as possible. Sonic GT is essentially just a more in-depth version of Sonic Utopia. The levels actually have substance now, though there are some sections where you just run without anything to stop you. The main problem that would arise with a momentum-based playstyle though, is actually already present in Sonic GT. Sonic GT's gameplay style is only really suitable for doing speed-based platforming, like Sonic is supposed to do. When you try to do precise platforming, that's when things fall apart. For a playstyle that is meant for you to go fast, doing slow platforming really does not work. It's extremely tedious, which isn't good. If you're going to have a momentum-based playstyle, it only really works with going fast, which isn't really a bad thing. You could have levels that require you to be able to learn how to gain momentum effectively and efficiently, so that you can make it across huge areas and will test your reaction time, something which is really great in Unleashed. Now then, what if Sega didn't create a new playstyle? Then what? Well, I still don't think that the whole game should be open world, but it is something which could be implemented into this next game, which lets you roam around in an open area. Mr. No Cuts also mentioned this in his video, and I completely agree with him. The only place which open world would work with Sonic is in a hub world. You've seen this a couple of times in the past, for example, Sonic Adventure, 06 and Unleashed. I think they were best done in an adventure, but Unleashed should have had good things about its hub worlds too. The perfect hub world would be as follows. Allow Sonic to keep his moveset, like an adventure, because if you make Sonic slow like an Unleashed, it can feel like a chore having to go through the hub worlds multiple times with such a capped speed. Second things, have NPCs actually do something, like an Unleashed, but on a larger scale. It'd be way more interesting if the NPCs could be interacted with and actually have quests for you to do, and would then reward you with something that actually helps you throughout the game. These quests should only be optional however. You should be able to complete the game without the rewarded perks, but the game would be way easier if you did take it out of your time to talk to the NPCs. Maybe even adding a shop where you can buy upgrades, like 06, or a place to do missions with substantial rewards, like Unleashed. The final thing would be to have places to explore, or collectibles to find, essentially like the medals in Unleashed. Having collectibles in the hub world would actually give it incentive to look around them and find things, especially if the collectibles are required to advance further in the game, like Unleashed. And that's pretty much all that needs to be done in a hub world catered to Sonic. It satisfies the desires of people who want to have an open world, without losing the interest of people who like traditional Sonic games. Everyone wins. Anyways, that's about wraps it up for today's video. Sonic just doesn't need to be in an open world, because it already works so well without them, and even trying to pull off an open world Sonic game would take huge amounts of time, effort, and resources from Sega, and pretty much from any company who are trying to make Sonic work in an open world. Hub worlds are just the way to go. Hope you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, especially that last one, and I hope to see you next time. Peace!